welcome to our science lesson. Again, we're going to continue on with our states of matter, and today we're going to be looking at evaporation, and we're going to have a little bit of an investigation on what the factors are that makes water evaporate. So let's have a look. So our aim, I can investigate how water evaporates, and our success criteria, I can explain the effect of temperature on the process of evaporation, and also that you can plan and carry out a comparative test using equipment accurately and display my results. So firstly, how do wet clothes dry? Well, firstly, evaporation, for those that didn't know, well, we did look at it last lesson, but evaporation is the process of a liquid changing into a gas. So water, when it's outside, just after it's rained, is usually a puddle. Once the water begins to heat up above 0 degrees, the water evaporates. So how do wet clothes dry? Well, when wet clothes dry on the washing line, it is evaporation that causes the liquid on the wet clothes to turn into gas, leaving the clothes dry. And this next paragraph, this is, if we were in class we would do this, but we're going to skip this part out. Well, this boy has the answer. So the particles in a liquid have energy and are moving around each other quite fast. Some of the particles move so quickly that they turn into a gas and move away from the liquid. And this happens quickly if the liquid is boiling. But when clothes are drying, it is not that hot, so I think it just happens slower. Eventually, all the particles will have changed into a gas and the clothes will be dry. And that happens when something gets a little bit hotter. All of the particles change from being quite stuck together and floating in that liquid state, all the particles, and it will get slower and it'll get quicker and quicker when it changes into gas particles. So when clothes are hung on a washing line to dry, they are exposed to heat. They are not boiling, but there is going to be some heat. The particles in the liquid water are moving around and over each other, and some particles move faster than others. These particles move so fast that they change state, turning into water vapour. The particles of water vapour move away from the clothes, spreading out into the air. The particles don't turn into air. Eventually, if the clothes are left on the washing line for long enough, all the particles of liquid water will change state into a gaseous water vapour, and the water will have evaporated and the clothes will be dry. So now, I want you guys to have a bit of an experiment at home. So I want you to fill up 4 different glasses of water equally. So at my house, I'm going to just use a measuring jug so that I can ensure that it's a fair test. So for example, I might use 200 millilitres of water in each of my 4 different glasses. Once I've done that, I'm going to spread the 4 glasses of water out around your house. So for example, I'm going to put one next to a window, I'm going to put one near a radiator, I'm going to put one on my kitchen top, I'm going to put one in a bit of a dark cupboard out of sight. What do you think might happen to each of these? Pause the video and have a think, or maybe discuss it with an adult. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, so hopefully you've had a think about what might happen to each of the 4 glasses. Will any of them evaporate? I'm not sure. So then now, once you've put them all around your house, I want you to leave these glasses of water for a good few hours. And then I want you to come back to them every few hours. That is why on our timetable for today, I've put science as probably one of the first lessons, so then we can have the rest of the day to be observing and coming back to them. After the few hours, every time you go back to them, I want you to see, what have you found? Has anything happened? Why has something happened, or why has something not happened, do you think? And I want you to write a few sentences of your findings on, there's a worksheet on Teams, and I'm going to show you in a moment. And I want you to also think, if the situation was different, this is afterwards, and we did this in the summer, would anything have changed to the water? So I'm going to move you over to my iPad and I'm going to show you the sheet and what I want yours to look like. Okay, so your worksheet should look just like this, apart from this question. So I have added in, what happens to water when it's left in different environments? So I want you to add in your question, which is just like this. What happens to water when it's left in different environments? Underneath, it then says, how do you plan to find the answer to the question? So I want you to explain in your own words, what will you do? So what have you done? You have put 4 glasses of water, all equal measurements, into 4 separate glasses, and then you have spread these 4 glasses in different places around your house. You might even want to draw a label diagram of this. You've got all this space underneath to do that here. So you can either draw a picture or just write about it. And then which resources will you need, or which resources have you used? Well, you've used 4 glasses, you've used some water, you might have used a measuring jug. Write down which resources you will need. And then on the next page, a prediction. So what do you think will happen to the glasses of water? Will any of the glasses of water do something quite quickly? Will nothing happen at all? And then I want you to see why do you think this happens? Then after that, gather your resources and set up your investigation. You may well have already done that. And remember to make it a fair test. And then it says you must only change one variable. So a variable is something that is different. And our variable in this science experiment is the position or the place where we put it. So for example, one is by the radiator, one is by the window. We are changing the location of that. So then observations. Throughout the day, maybe every 2 hours, maybe every couple of hours, I want you to go back and jot down what you notice at different times. This might just be a quick note form of nothing changed. Something might have changed. Jot it down. And then finally, at the end of the day, I want you to write a conclusion. So answer your question. And it says use scientific language. So can you use any of the keywords that we've done in our science so far? And I want to see what the outcome or what the answer to the question is. And then underneath, guys, there is a little bit of an extension. It says, can you prepare a diary to record your water use at home during the next week to bring to the next session? List of visits to the toilet, showers, bath, washing at sink, clothes washed, washing up or dishwasher, drinks containing water, water given to pets, water in the garden, cleaning. You've got so many bits. Can you think of any other uses of water? We've also got cleaning the car, putting water put out for birds in your pond. There are so many different uses of water. I want to see the uses of water that you use throughout your daily life. That'd be wonderful if you could do that. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I'm excited to see all of your answers to our question above. And I'll see you in the next one.